Justin Trudeau warns if Canada opens too early, the country could be sent back into confinement. The only solution is to make testing fast, easy, and widely accessible. Ideally some kind of test that you take every day which tells you ASAP whether or not you're infected. Whether people like it or not, we won't have a vaccine for at least a year and a half, and that doesn't include the logistics of supplying a vaccine to hundreds of millions of people. Action needs to be taken, and they need to start discussing solutions like coming in and out of quarantine so we don't overload hospitals. Very difficult to maneuver around because healthy young individuals will be fine but will spread the virus, affecting, primarily, the vulnerable, causing a shutdown again. Also elderly/vulnerable people living with family or having to go grocery shopping will be risking their lives. It's still a very dire situation. This is what Germany is facing now. People wanted to open early and they are getting hit with a second wave. Yeah, good luck with that. The majority of sentiment regarding a second lockdown if/when there's a second wave has rapidly shifted recently towards over my dead body. Imagine slogging through this, almost running out of money, getting stressed out about whether or not your job/employer will survive the shutdown, then having it lifted, hooray, you still have work, the sky didn't fall for you, and then, pow, shut down again and you're laid off for a second time in 6 months, but probably permanently this time. That would be an irrecoverable blow for pretty much every business in the country, and an irrecoverable mental blow for an absolutely enormous number of people. Just in the past few days, pretty much every second lockdown thread I've come across in many subs has included plenty of comments along the lines of, if this is going to be what it's like for the foreseeable future, I'm going to off myself, and that's before a second lockdown. Imagine it during/after one. People are starting to shift from "we all have to do our part" to "I did my part for 2 months, now it's time to get on with life while there's still a life to get back to." Giving people a shred of hope and then plunging them right back into the despair they just crawled their way out of will be beyond brutal. Trudeau has actually done pretty well by Canada during this crisis. Plus Canada did a great job rapidly getting CERB benefits out to people that need them. It's going to spread when the country opens up or not. These lockdowns were never to stop the spread, they were to ease the burden on hospitals. Most are now ready and have a system. The virus is going to spread, there's no way around it. We need fast, effective antibody testing, as anyone who has it is unlikely to catch it again. Most reinfections have been shown to be errors detecting the RNA from antibodies and not the actual virus, so those people who have gotten through it can go out and keep things running. I thought the whole point was keeping hospitals below capacity, not preventing folks from catching the disease. We've done an exceptionally good job of keeping hospitals below capacity, so what's the concern? Flattening the curve isn't stop the spread, it's continue the spread at a sustainable rate. We literally had this exact same headline posted on this exact same subreddit just a day ago. https://www.comments/ggjpxq/trudeau_warns_premature_reopening_could_send/dude. Knock it off with the blog spam. This exact post was here yesterday or the day before. https://www. Reddit. com/r/worldnews/comments/ggjpxq/trudeau_warns_premature_reopening_could_send/. We don't need reposts on /r/world news. Even in NYC people are getting the reopen itch. Any place not hit as hard has to be feeling the urge to reopen in a much stronger way. I accept this as a reality. I just wish they'd give us a rough time frame on how long they think we should be shut down for. Corona is in our ecosystem forever. It's a Pandora's box we cannot close. If they don't, it could also slip into chaos, as people have about had their fill of the isolation and the collapsing of our economy. Those who are least at risk, young people, are disproportionately bearing the cost of the lockdown. I'm so pissed at the people here in Quebec. We have the most deaths and infected in the country, and people are fed up with being locked down, so our stupid government decided to reopen schools and businesses. I just have no idea. Our health minister is blatantly lying about everything being under control, but you got tons of nurses complaining on Facebook about the conditions. My mom is a nurse and she's been telling me about all the issues they've been facing ever since the beginning, and yet our health minister is telling people it's all good. That ends up with people not taking this serious and throwing parties, barbecues, and not using masks or gloves. When I do my grocery shopping, I can count on one hand how many people I see with masks, including me. They all look at you like if you were sick, so they all give you your shopping space and try to avoid you. I honestly don't mind because I can do my groceries easily, but still, people aren't taking this serious. It's frustrating because I'm isolating myself since the beginning because of a minor health issue, that could end up being a major health issue if I get infected, and you got the majority of people taking this reopening as a sign of we're okay if we're reopening. I honestly believe that we will end up back in confinement again and will once again ask the federal government for help. Our provincial government hasn't done anything financially to help us. We were promised a provincial stimulus aid, but that never came to life. Then we received the CERP aid from the federal government. I hate how people are easily influenced and take this for granted. We're going back regardless. Open up slowly and clamp down when necessary. Just staying closed doesn't help anyone. This is going to be a process, not an off/on political position. Hospitals are laying off people because they are so empty. Turns out focusing only on COVID isn't productive in healthcare. More people are expected to die of poverty induced from economic collapse than from COVID now. So, can we talk about ending lockdown? A second wave is going to come regardless. How about instead of quarantining 90% of peeps who have little risk of dying, we take extra special care of the vulnerable 10%, and reopen our economy and start trying to minimize the devastation? Basically, we just need to do the exact opposite of what the US is doing. Help our people and community, gradually lift isolation, and keep the border closed to international traffic. True. I hope Canada waits to see what happens when other countries start opening up. The land of my heart. Goodwill. I'm just grateful I'm not American right now, tbh. I see the shitstorm going on there and thought, that could have been me. I believe the best way is to shift the responsibility to employer. If the company wants to operate, fine. But they gotta ensure that social distancing is in place and share the cost of healthcare if there is a cluster found in their premise. Do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long. So, what if a vaccine is never found? What happens? Do we not go back to work? Are we never going to see live events again? I'm honestly at the point that I want to get it just to get it out of the way and build an immunity. My main issue is I live with older people and can't risk exposing them. Deleted. My tiny rural area is being treated the exact same as a city. It's ridiculous. I really wish they'd make wearing masks in public places mandatory. I see only 10 to 20% of the people wearing masks. Deleted. The people of this world don't give a rat's ass about it. So long as it does not affect them, that is. I've learned humans are selfish as fuck, and they care about no one else's life. Lockdowns prove that fact. Lockdowns were never meant to eradicate coronavirus. Lockdowns were intended to slow down its spread until adequate healthcare resources could be mobilized. Epidemiologists pointed out from the beginning that once lockdowns are eased, the virus will start spreading again, but by now, there has been enough time to mobilize healthcare resources. The argument for keeping lockdowns is gone. Governments that still have not made enough resources available can be rightly accused of gross incompetence. Governments that want to cling on to lockdowns regardless must face the charge of having an ulterior motive. The idea that we can just go into lockdown and wait for a vaccine is nonsense. We don't have that kind of endurance. Uncomfortable as it may sound, we have to let it roam and accept that there is a new source of danger in our lives. We have to live with it by taking more care about our hygiene, by reorganizing work, and by keeping enough healthcare resources ready to deal with COVID-19 in addition, not instead of, what is done normally. If you are horrified by the idea that there is a new killer in town, that this goes contrary to our progress in eliminating all dangers, take a pause to reflect. We have been quietly cultivating other killers for decades and have so far not done enough to keep them in check. These are most notably global warming and pollution. Europe is willing to ruin itself for a virus that will kill markedly fewer than 1 million people this year. It is not willing to commit anything to stopping deforestation, even though that would save many more lives. If you are willing to inflict lockdowns on an entire continent, why are not willing to send troops to Brazil and protect the Amazon? Something seems out of proportion.